wilderness on the coastline of Santo Domingo.
Santo Domingo is the capital of the Dominican Republic, located in the Caribbean Sea. After being in the colonial city, I decided to take a walk along the coastline of Santo Domingo. This is what I saw on my walk to the coastline. If you've seen my other videos on the colonial city, you'll immediately notice the difference in the architecture. This is the Don Diego Terminal, where cruise ships come to dock. The first point of interest is the Plaza De Monteserno. This 30-meter-high statue is dedicated to Fray Antón de Monteserno. This is an important monument, as it was this friar who was the first to speak out about the rights of the indigenous people. This sculpture shows him in the act of delivering a famous sermon on November 30th, 1511, wherein he criticized the treatment of the Indians by the Spanish. You are looking at a plaque with inscribed excerpts from his famous speech. Montesernos went on to establish the first Catholic Church in the USA in 1526. Although this settlement only lasted a few months, he returned to Santo Domingo and was appointed protector of the Indians in Venezuela. He again fought for the rights of the Indians, but was murdered in 1540 by an officer due to his support of the natives. You are looking down on the Caribbean Sea from high atop the monument. If you're finding this video informative, please give it a thumbs up. And see that logo on the lower right-hand corner of the screen? Please click that to subscribe to the channel. Directly across the monument are these two cannons facing towards the sea to protect against oncoming invaders. This was built in the early 1500s. This is a monument that was put in place to honor the hard-working Japanese people that came to the Dominican Republic to work in the agriculture fields. It was now lunchtime, so I decided to stop into this place to get a bite to eat. De la Ris Pilorada. I enjoyed the ocean view and ordered the chicken fajitas. They were quite good and they filled me up. After having lunch, I continued my walk along the coastline. One of the things that really made my walk enjoyable was the artwork that they have, like a large column, to a book, to a large white statue. Why were they there and what did they represent? I never really did find out, but I did appreciate that they were there. But the most surprising thing I found on my walk was that they didn't have a beach, at least in the traditional way, with sand that you could lay out on. Instead, it was just the sea and the little rock cliffs. In fact, the only thing that even came close to that was this little area, but even that was a far cry from being a real beach. This is a view that you get walking along the sidewalk. And speaking of that sidewalk, it is well paved and safe and easy to walk on, skate on, and ride your bike on. Next up, the Strong San Gil. This was the first defensive point in the city from pirate attacks. It was built between 1503 to 1510. The original shape was a unique five-sided structure, but this has been replaced by the current isosceles trapezium shape, which was completed in the 1990s. Imagine for a moment that you were one of those protecting this fortress back in the 1500s. This is the site you would have seen overlooking the Caribbean Sea. This is one of the watchtowers that they looked out of. The fortress, unfortunately, is not in the best of conditions and is now in dire need of restoration. The fort was named in honor of San Gil, who lived between the 6th and the 7th centuries. The fort is also known locally as the Slaughterhouse Fort. These two structures were nearby the fort, but I was unable to get information on what they are or why they were there. This is some rubble from the fort that had fallen many years ago. I have to say, as I took my walk along the coastline, I was impressed with the great effort that the people from Santo Domingo put into this place to make it look nice, like this heart with the Santo Domingo initials on it, and these concrete chairs that you can sit on and look out at the Caribbean Sea. All of this recently newly constructed within the last few years. They have also taken great strides to improve their accommodations as well. Notice in the background the high-rise hotel. While Santo Domingo has made great improvements with the landscape with the palm trees and concrete walkways, they still have more work to be done with the litter that persists in the water and around the area. Thankfully, that was not the case the whole way through, just in small areas like this. This is the Wan Barron Plaza. As you can see, there are amusement-style park rides here. You can walk along the coastline, eat food at the restaurants, and there's also park activities for the children and sometimes concerts with well-known Dominican artists. This is the Obelisk of Santo Domingo. It was constructed in 1937 by then-dictator Rafael Leonidas Trujillo to celebrate the name change of the city from Santo Domingo to Trujillo City. When dictator Trujillo was removed from office, the city changed its name back to Santo Domingo. This is Engenio Maria de Hostos Park. It is the oldest park with a seafront view. The centerpiece of the park is this pond. There are a few monuments and sculptures within the park. While it is not a regularly visited park, there is some activity going on. Here, these people practice their martial arts. This is one of those hotels I talked about earlier. This is the Crown Plaza directly across the street from the Caribbean Sea. This one has a casino and it isn't that expensive, costing anywhere from $80 to $120 depending on the time of the year. One of the surprising things I did find on my walk was these guys playing American football. For years, the Dominicans have made their presence well known in Major League Baseball. The distance covered in this walk from the Don Diego terminal was about 3 miles. If you wanted to get a taxi cab ride to the airport, that would cost you about $35 US. If you would like to see my other videos on the Dominican Republic, please click on the link now. Thank you so much for watching.